All right, good morning, folks. It is 7:49 on the 18th day of May. That's day 45. Just thought I'd give you a quick look at the room here over here at the Baymont, room 119. So there we go. A couple of beds, a couple of desks, nothing too crazy, pretty standard. Not a bad little room. I think it was like 80 a night. Bathroom, toilet, sink outside. Relatively comfortable. I shared the first night with Jamaican, and then I was just here on my own last night. Jamaican, I mentioned in a previous video that he was like complaining of some sort of foot discomfort or something like that, and frankly he was going back to the East Coast anyways to meet up with some family and stuff for a couple of weeks over in like Long Island or something, I think. So he just stayed with me the night before last. And then yesterday, his dad, Ice, came out and picked him up. Ice, of course, from Los Angeles with plenty of friends and family in the Los Angeles area. So I think Jamaican is off trail for the next couple of weeks. I don't really know exactly what his plan is when he gets back on. I think he's been talking about maybe going southbound out of some place or something. I don't really know. I'm not sure if I'll see him again. I hope to, but you know, that's kind of how the trail works. Meanwhile, Rabbit met up with me yesterday. He is back on trail after taking a couple weeks in Georgia to see his friends and family and stuff. So I met up with Rabbit yesterday. He just kind of passed through and then took the bus back out to the trailhead over at Walker Pass and just kind of camped pretty much right there at the trailhead. Probably run into him again, if not today, certainly by Kennedy Meadows, which is about 50 miles away or so. But for right now, there's a shuttle coming at about 8 in the morning. Me and those same 3 hikers whom I mooched on a few days ago to get into town, I will be similarly, likewise, mooching with them to get back to the trailhead today. So that should be fine. I'm just going to make sure that I have everything buttoned up, and then I'll check in one more time over at the trailhead. All right, it is 8:38 in the morning and 73.2 degrees, what the thermometer says. Probably feels just about right. Back up here at Walker Pass, just crossed the street to tag the other side where I left off. There's a group of 3 who keeps finding rides for me, and Rabbit. So good to see him back on trail. I'm not quite sure exactly what the plan is today with respect to distance, but as I said just a moment ago, it's just about 50, that is 50, half 100 miles to get to Kennedy Meadows. So really whatever, you know, whatever. It's gonna be a few days, 2.5 days or something like that, and that'll be fine, and it'll be great, and it'll be so fun, and super excited about it. So good stop in town, feeling good, just ready to keep moving. So oh, I should say, we were checking weather in the Sierra, just because it's kind of getting on that time where we have to really start paying extra attention, and it looks like the next week or so, there's going to be a lot of rain and warm temperatures, warm even overnight, somewhere above freezing. So not great hiking and snow conditions, but hopefully it should be cooling down again, at least from here, from the really sort of extended forecast. It looks like it's going to be cooling down right about the time that I plan on embarking. So hopefully that's the case, but we'll see. That's all I got. Let me get up these hills and talk to you guys later. 11:21 and 73.4 degrees. I'm just about touch over 7.5 miles into the day at northbound marker 661, and I have a view dedication to get out. So there are actually a couple of you who are due view dedications. Thank you very much, but I hate to cut in line, but there's a very special view here, and there's only one person, and by extension one group of people, to whom I could possibly give this dedication. So to those of you who are due a view dedication, I'm afraid you're gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. But right here off to the north, there's this 8,400 some odd foot peak called Owens Peak. This is an actually really cool and special peak to me personally. My father, who's actually coming out in just a couple days with my mom from the East Coast, my father, some 25 years ago or so, took me and my siblings and my mother out here to Ridgecrest, where he had work with Nav Air, EW testing stuff, I don't know. But as a kid, we went up and climbed up to the top of Owens Peak, and it made a huge impression on me. It was just, you know, I was just some like snot-nosed little punk, and and I had been in scouts and really enjoyed the outdoors and everything else. I mean, I could ramble about this forever. I'm gonna try and keep it brief. Basically, it was actually a really formative hike, a really formative trip out to admire the beauty of the American West, and it's stuck with me my whole life ever since. Really, is just a really special time and a really special mountain. So I will not be summiting Owens Peak today. If when my father comes out, he decides he'd like to summit with me, then I would love to take a little trip up with him. And if he decides that that's, you know, not something he's up for, then that's perfectly fine too. I'll just look forward to spending time with him. But Pop, that's Owens Peak, and I'm thinking of you today. So by extension, thinking of just my siblings, my family, my mom, and all those people who've made such a huge impression on me throughout my entire life. So anyways, Owens Peak, Pop, fam, that's for you. Thank you so much for everything. Couldn't be here without you. So love you all. Talk to you guys later. Okay, good afternoon, folks. It is 4:05 in the afternoon, and I've made it to home for the night, although I am currently returning from 0.1 miles trail south, which was the water source previous to camp. So dropped off my pack up at camp, 0.1 up, and that's where I'll be camping tonight. We'll take a look together. Don't know the temperature. I'll tell you when I get back there to my thermometer. I'm feeling pretty good today. Did 18 or whatever. Kind of my plan for today with the slightly late start was somewhere between 15 and 20. And frankly, I feel really good about where I've wound up. I mean, 18 is by no means a banner day, but the campsite I think is strategically sound. So it's about halfway up, maybe a third of the way up. A decent little climb, nothing insane, but a decent little climb. And it's also, so what that does a couple things, right? So obviously it means that I'm not at the lowest elevation in the immediate area, which will help stave off any threat of condensation or cold sinks, which may fall in and keep me chilly all night. We got those awesome mountains in the back there. Super cool, man. So hopefully I can save myself some condensation and cold risk. Also means that I'm a third of the way up the hill for tomorrow. So per usual, late day climbs aren't my favorite thing, although this first third was pretty manageable with respect to like grade and everything, not overly aggressive or anything. I could keep going, but then I'm camping right up at the very top of a hill in another 3 miles, which is sometimes very fun to do, but sometimes not so much. And frankly, I'm still just a little shell-shocked from that super windy night a little while ago. So what was that, coming into Tehachapi, I think. So the only kind of drawback of this spot is it's gonna be nowhere near large enough for me to pitch my ginormous Durston X-Mid Pro 2. So I'm gonna wind up cowboy camping tonight, but I feel decent about that. I may double check weather because I haven't checked weather recently. Anyways, here's our spot. Just in a nice little drainage between a couple of hills. Sorry, Potato, I know this is camping pretty much directly on trail, which also is something I don't try and do very often. But, you know, just is what it is sometimes, bud. 78.8 is what my thermometer is saying, 78.8 degrees. So definitely got pretty warm, but not as warm as it's been before I got to town, so that's fine. Yeah, take an early night, process some videos, hopefully get an early start. There is that group of 3 who I keep mooching rides from. They're someplace probably not too far behind me, and I'm not sure how far they were going to go today. They were talking about 15 to 20 as well. And then there's also Rabbit, who I have not seen pretty much since embarking today. So hopefully he's doing great, but again, this is his first day back on trail after like 2 weeks off or something. So who knows how he's doing. I did communicate to him that I was looking at like 15 to 20. So whether he decides to stop further back or try and meet up with me here or even go beyond me here, that's fine. Either way, I think myself, as well as the group of 3 and potentially Rabbit, are all kind of earmarking 2.5 to get to Kennedy Meadows, 2.5 days or so to get to Kennedy Meadows. So 18 today on a slightly late start. I feel pretty decent about where that positions me. And yeah, I mean, really that's all I got for today. So I've grabbed up my water. I'm just gonna pitch up a little bunk right here on the earth and call it great. So yeah, I should be not far from embarking into the Sierra. So if you guys have groups or friends or whatever who are on trail and interested to follow a channel as we go together into the great vast Sierra, feel free to drop a little share of the channel with them, and you know, hopefully whatever challenges I face can be of some assistance to them. So that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will definitely check back with you tomorrow.